We are in Posen at the ENG gallery, where I'm showing two installations. One called Triptych on yellow background is from the year 2009. And I'm showing in a series of tableaux vivants a short history of my family. Here on one side, my mother is seated on a bench. It's the reconstruction of her history. She escaped from the Lwów ghetto and with no place to go, and was sitting on a bench in the park, in the Stryjski Park, and my father was passing by. And that's how they met, and that's how she was saved. On the other side of the room are my grandparents, Herman and Paulina Kochany. By the time my mother was sitting on the bench, they were probably both dead. My grandmother was killed in Treblinka, and my grandfather Herman lost his life somewhere near Kraków. Finally, the last part of the triptych is showing my brother Peter and myself. This is from an amateur photo taken by our family friend. We are vacationing, and we found and saved a little white dove. So a clear symbol of peace, but also our pet. Together we form a family. Had my father not met my mother at the park, we would not exist. Here's a remembrance in the middle of the room, the remembrance of a much earlier installation inspired by a famous photo of Anna Frank with the hoop, jumping the rope, and her friend who is holding the hoop. I created from those two images found in my mother's drawer the images of myself and my brother. And my mother preserved the photographs probably because actually a 6-year-old or 7-year-old Anna Frank looked very much like my brother Peter. In the second room we have the installation titled Kraków 1946. I was actually born on May 5th in Kraków 1946, and it was unaware of the drama that was going on. And this drama is shown in a series of images. The first two images are showing my mother pregnant with me. I created them from images, from photographs I took of myself pretending to be pregnant at age over 70, and from an old photograph of my mother. In the second image is myself in a carriage. The baby, like every baby in the world, completely unaware of circumstances into which she or he was born. The baby is looking directly at Paulina, my grandmother, made from a photo that was taken before World War I in Berlin. And here my exhibition was to be shown at a large museum, but suddenly it was cancelled, and so for the purpose of showing something in a small gallery, I did this miniature dedicated to music, to my family that was a very musical family. Here all of them are sort of playing a concert for all of us, for the victims in our family and for all the rest of the victims, millions of them, since ours is only a tiny history out of those million tragedies that took place in the war. Finally, in the mirror, in the jars, you have the images of my father, whom I always considered my father, since I didn't know about Teddy Gleich, since I didn't know that during the war and right after the war, when they were young and beautiful, they sort of had some sort of a triangle, and I realized that it's by no means clear whose child I am. My mother twice holding me already when I'm a little bigger, when I'm already maybe a year and a half old. She's in front wearing a black dress, since after the sudden death of Teddy, she became a widow. In the mirror, she is wearing a white dress. Finally, Teddy, the enigmatic man in my life, whose existence I only discovered when I was myself over 50. In the corner next to the balcony door, there's a piece from another old installation referring to my mother seeing the eyes of her mother, of her sister, of her friends, seeing the eyes everywhere, eyes looking at her. This often happens in schizophrenia. And above is the mirror, the sky, the sun, things which we consider more or less eternal, since we are born under the sun and we are alive as long as the sun is burning, is shining for us.